What's going on YouTube? Hey guys, it's Ben, and today I want to talk to you guys about how I started my business completely from scratch. Now I'm going to load a ton of value into this video, and so I would hope that you guys would smash that like button. It's just going to raise up the almighty YouTube algorithm and send this message out to a ton of other people that I think will be super important. So it'll be a meaningful act on your part if you would smash the like button and definitely subscribe if you're not subscribed already. So let's talk about how I started my business from scratch. So essentially, you know my story if you've watched my channel. I started a recruiting agency about 2 years ago, completely out of thin air. I was working a 9-to-5 job that I absolutely hated and wanted out of super fast. So I started a recruiting agency, did $100,000 in the first 6 months. I was absolutely hooked. Obviously, I was out the door immediately from my 9-to-5, scaled my business ever since, and it's been a six-figure machine for me and scaling still. So that's my main story. Now I want to talk to you about how and why I started that business from scratch and why entrepreneurs in 2019 need to be thinking in the same mindset and action taking on their business in the same framework. So there's basically two methods that you can follow in business. There's the old school method and then there's the brand new school method, right? Which is like the 2019 entrepreneurs versus people that grew up in the 70s and grew their businesses, right? The old school method is super lame. It's not going to get you anywhere and it does not help whatsoever. The old school method tells you that you need to be completely proficient in something before you start it. You need to do a ton of learning and research and understanding before you can even take any action whatsoever. And it basically tells you that you need to walk a ton before you can run. Now, the new school method is the complete converse of that. It's basically saying that you need to act first before you learn, which is exactly what I did when I started my business from scratch. You take action, you fail, you learn from your failures, you fail fast, you fail forward, and everything becomes a lesson. Now, the old adage is always true that the only way to learn how to build a business is by building a business. That's how you actually learn to build a business. You can't learn to build a business by reading a book and just taking notes. You actually have to build a business to learn how to build a good business. And that's always going to remain true. So in starting my business from scratch, there's a few choice specific things that I did that I think will resonate with a ton of you guys, entrepreneurs in any field pretty much, outside of recruiting, inside of recruiting, whatever it is. Now, I didn't wait for anybody to tell me what to do. I just started taking action. I implemented things right away. Even though I didn't know exactly what was going to happen, I just started taking action. Didn't wait for anybody to tell me anything. Furthermore, all the action that I was taking, I had no clue what the outcome was going to be. So it was actually kind of intriguing and really exciting for me because when I took action and implemented something new or tried to cold email someone and start to get a deal going, I got really cool and weird and failing and successful responses all at the same time. So I was learning a ton of different things by taking action and not knowing what the outcome was going to be. And it was a ton of lessons learned that you really can't pay for. The next thing I would say is that I put in massive amounts of action. So as I learned that every single action I took taught me a new lesson, I realized that the more action I take, the more I'm going to learn. So then I 10x'd my action and basically just learned and learned and learned. And that's the way you need to basically start a business when you're going from scratch. So you just take whatever action you're taking, 10x it, and then you'll learn everything you need to know in a really short period of time. That's why I was able to do 6 figures in the first 6 months of my recruiting agency, because I learned so many things in that time period that I was able to ramp up super quick. The next thing that I did that a lot of people don't think about doing, this is more of like old school, right? But I took it new school, which is I did my own research. So there's a lot of things that go into creating a business from scratch. You need an LLC, an EIN. Some of you probably don't even know what that means, but you need to call the IRS a bunch and wait online for like an hour. You need to get a business license and you need to set yourself up for proper taxation, all of that sort of thing. And I did my own research on all that stuff. And putting in the time and the effort and the energy to do all of that was super important starting a business from scratch. So rather than just kind of like wading in the pond of like, what do I do? How do I do this? Do your own research, go out there, figure out what you need and go do it. Actually implement and do these things and you'll set yourself up for success, set your business up properly, and you'll be off to the races from there. One of the most important things that I did too was that I valued progress over financial gain. Now, this is a little bit hard to get around because you want to make a lot of money, right, when you start a business, but starting from scratch, there is an element of a lot of learning over the financial gain piece. So you have to put that above the finances first, right? Because there are building blocks, right? You do need to build upon yourself and get things right before you can actually scale and make a ton of money. So once I got my business in place, which clearly took about 6 months to make $100,000, I was in a place where then I could scale and I could just do, endless scaling from then on to the present time. So I valued my progress and all the lessons I was learning over making money really fast and really quick, because I knew that if I had a strong foundation, I'd be able to make a ton of money later on down the line. And that period of time was really, really short. Last thing that I can tell you that was super important for me in my mindset and my mentality was always having a can-do attitude. A can-do attitude where you can break through brick walls, figure out any obstacle that comes your way, and just know that you have the confidence to overcome pretty much anything starting a business from scratch. This is incredibly important, right? Because what happens so much is that people start businesses or they try to start a side hustle maybe. And if something doesn't work out just right, or they don't make, $1,000 in the first week or something, boom, they're out, they're gone, they're done, right? So what I did is I understood the can-do mentality. I understood the long game, that it was going to take a little bit to ramp up and make my money. And having that confidence and having that mindset and knowing that things will come if you put in the effort and have that mindset, you cannot lose. You'll always win when you do that. And you'll always know that you can break through any barrier that you have. So guys, that's my story about how I started my business from scratch. This applies to any entrepreneur in any business. And if you like this, definitely smash the like button. Definitely hit the subscribe button as well. I appreciate you guys. I will catch you tomorrow on Thursday. Hope you're having a great day and take care.